Good evening and welcome to the live show. I hope everybody had a great day today. I mean, how about that? Nvidia's popping up, Google's going wild, Meta's popping up, Amazon's going crazy, Tesla's going wild, Microsoft was bouncing, and Apple was just a little bit down, kind of flat and down a little bit. It was up most of the day. So the Mag 7 looking good. The rest of the market was a little red, but we'll go through everything and see what wants to pop and what's getting moving for tomorrow. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. How are you, everybody? I see Laptop Travel, The Pink Wolf, Imbray, Bong Prechan, Sherry, Stealth Traders on there, and Steve, and Ding Dong, Jay Kratz, and who's that? Grammy Kent and Danny and a bunch of other people will be on. So how is everybody tonight? Let's get cruising here and see what's happening. Like I said, the Mag 7s are looking good and options are looking great. And I just have to figure out. I might have to hit up Laptop Travel after this, or make sure that my account. I want to try to use the Web Bull or my Robinhood because both are brand new accounts. I never even put anything in them. And I wanted to bring them up and show you guys how to do the options right there on them. And I have to try to figure it out. I'm seeing if I thought I got approved for the option trading, but I have to make sure. And that's the only thing I'm waiting on to finish up my video there. So I did all my information, everything like that. And I'm just waiting for that. So I'll try to figure that out tonight. And I might have to hit up laptop travel, just letting you know. Laptop Travel giving you a heads up that I might need a hand because I know you trade on both of them actually, and I'm not familiar with either of them. So here we go. Let's get rocking and rolling. And like I said, I'll make sure that I get you guys up to speed on these options and what I've been doing. That's all I can tell you is, like I said, I'm no expert at it by no means, but I'll let you know what I figured out and what's been working for me. And again, I generally don't post any kind of money or anything like that, but I was just kind of showing you guys what can be done with these options. And honestly, I'm honestly impressed because I didn't have I know guys were telling me about this, hedge fund guys for years now, telling me I needed to get into them, and now I see why. I mean, you're talking 500-600% returns in a couple trading days. I mean, talk about Google, for example, bought after Friday afternoon, and that thing's up like crazy, and it only ran up like $10. The Tesla ones are crazy. It just runs up like $24. Like it's no big deal. And yeah, it's just crazy right now. So definitely want to get you guys on up to speed on that. So that's all I have to figure out, and I'll show you guys what I'm up to. So there you go. And how is everybody? Let's get cruising. That JTAI. Let's take a look at it. It was bouncing around today. It was down for a little bit and then it went up. So it did run yesterday. We did know it was going to run yesterday, and then it did pull back. It opened at 403. It closed at 4. So it opened up a little higher, 3 cents higher. It got up to 475. It's at 458 and still looking good. So keep your eye on it. Ran up yesterday, and I think this thing's going to get cruising, guys. So I still think down there was your bottom way down here at 351. And again, you're at 438. It's says, or 458 mine says. And JTAI, I would keep an eye on that, and that's one of them AI ones that is just getting set up there, so keep an eye on that. RGTI, this thing's been running up too. It got way up there again today. I know Laptop Travel's been excited about this one. He had options on this, and it ran up to like 846. It opened at 748, and it could be just topping out right now. It's way up there. And again, it'll probably pull down, make a base somewhere down here around 5 and go back up, I would imagine. But another computer hardware one that got cruising right there. So that's RGTI. And I think it might have to pull back. And how about that CDIO? We were super early on this, and Cardio Diagnostic Holdings, and it ran way up there today. I mean, this thing's like over 500%er, I think. And it ran up to 164 at one point. It's at 157 right now. And we saw it way down here at like a quarter, 25-cent area. So like I said, this thing's way over 400 or 500%. It's way up there. And from where we saw it, and that's CDIO. And honestly, it's still up in the top. It doesn't even look terrible up there. So if anything, it's a little momentum play at this point, but it ran way up pretty pretty nice the last few days. And how about that ELAB? It was in the right spot. It ran up yesterday a little bit up to that 283. Today it just ran around. Let me see on mine. I'll get a better idea. 257 up to 297 and back to 250. And again, it's still just setting up. Has to get up over this 321 to really get moving here. And it's still in the right spot and not looking bad. Just a little healthy pullback there, but I would expect this one to keep try to continue moving up there. And that is ELAB. I think it still has a shot to get cruising. And what's TRNR up to? It was down today. I know that it had jumped up to the 20 and then it had pulled back. So let me just see what the pricing was. TRNR, and it was opened at 305. It got up to 330 there, and then it pulled back to 290 and it's at 308 right now. And I'm telling you, it's not in a bad spot right there. And it does it wants to get up over this 20 at like I would say, where'd it get up to? That 338, didn't it? 330. And let it get to like 340. We'll even call it that, 340. And this thing can get rocking and rolling. So it's right about there. It says 308 in the after hours on mine. And it did jump up over it yesterday. It got up to that 481. And again, this thing I think wants to set up and get cruising, and it has a lot of room. It can get up into like the $8 range, at least a 5 or 6 with no problem. It's got there before. So keep an eye on that TRNR and we'll see what it can do. It's been trying to finally move. We were looking at it, thought it was trying to do something, and this week it finally is. So we'll have to keep our eyes on it and keep your eyes on it if you like it. And HAO, this is one of the ones we've been looking at, and I'll tell you what, it was trying to curl up really good today. I don't know why it came back down. Let me take a look at it on mine. HAO. And here we go. It ran up on the 9th, which was Monday. Yesterday it didn't look bad. Just a little healthy pullback. And it was, what, 14 down to 13. That's where it's at. The other day it ran up to, what, that 16-cent area. And I still think it's trying to get cruising. It's just like running flat and moving around. That 20's up there at like 7, just below 18 cents. So HAO, I would say, is still trying to get set up there. I don't think it looks bad by no means. So keep an eye on that. HAO and LGHL, that lion. Let's see what the lion's up to. This is sitting in a great spot right now with that dip. So keep an eye on the line. I know last or the other day we looked at it and thought it wanted to run, and then all of a sudden it popped up the next day and then it was dipping back down. Well, it does look like it's hitting that bottom today and it wants to get cruising again. And I know we saw it run up on the 29th there. It got up to that 21.5 cents, maybe a little higher. And I remember it got higher in the after hours, but right now it's in the right spot to bounce off. So keep your eye on LGHL, the lion right there, because it doesn't look bad. Lion Group, I like that pullback, that dip look. And JagX, the Jaguar, was setting up as well today. And it was trying to move, and it looks pretty healthy. It has a lot of room, and it did get moving today, JagX. So take a look at it, because I did mention it, and then it ran up, I think, another 10 cents. I think I mentioned it around 119, and it was already up, and it got up to 130. So it is moving, and JagX doesn't look bad to continue tomorrow to get into the top and run up some more. So keep an eye on JagX to keep that momentum there, JAGX. And that one I did post today. And like I said, it just had that look. It started to run and it was moving all right. So we might as well look at the cheetah while we're at it. And that's CTNT. And that one recently ran up and it's just kind of running back up. It did make that bottom at 280 again. It's at 410 CTNT and it's not looking bad at all. CTNT, I think it's trying to cruise back up, to be honest. It just had that open and close at 404 look today and a little bit flat, but it does not look bad. So we'll have to see how it opens up tomorrow. And that's CTNT, and that is the cheetah right there. And let's look at X, because this X Steel had a huge dip yesterday. And let's see what it's up to. It was down a little bit today, but yesterday I think was that big bottom right there. It had that big dip, like I'm saying, all the way down to what? It came down to 30.95. It's back to 35.06. And it's just kind of flat down here. And again, I think it's going to have to set back up, get back over to 36.50 area, and then it can get cruising, and that is X United States Steel Corp. So keep an eye on that. Like I said, it looks like it's trying to bounce back up there. Had that big old dip, and again, it was they blocking the sale of to Nippy and Steel. I'm not even sure what that is, but Biden is set to block it. It says, and it was a proposed $14.9 billion merger with Nippon Steel, Nippon, and apparently they don't want that to happen. So there you go with that, and then that dipped, and then it'll bounce back up. So that is X. So we'll find the best spot, and like I said, you can already see that that bottom was yesterday at that 30.55, and you're already back up at $35. And once it gets over this 36 area, it's going to get cruising, and there is XWBA. How about Walgreens? And let's see what that's up to real quick. Let me see something real quick here. Um, Hold on one second. Let me have these guys. There we go. I don't know what's going on up there, but they're being pretty loud. Walgreens right here, WBA, like I was saying, think they're gonna be filing some bankruptcy. Well, instead of bankruptcy, they're trying to sell to a private company, a private equity firm. So they did announce that today, and Walgreens is in the talks to sell itself to private equity firm Sycamore Partners. And that's basically filing for bankruptcy or avoiding filing for bankruptcy, to be honest with you. That's exactly what that is. And Luis Rodriguez gave me the heads up on that today. I appreciate that because I didn't even see that news. But yeah, that did happen today. Remember, I was telling you it was setting up the pop right there. It did set up and popped yesterday, and then it would be coming back down. And I've been telling you the company hasn't looked good, and it wanted to file. It was. I wouldn't be surprised if they filed for bankruptcy. There's another one I called out. Not only Big Lots, there was a couple more before that one too. Big Lots, and here you go. It's basically the same situation, but they're smart. They're trying to sell it before they can have to file for bankruptcy and end up in that disaster. So anyway, there you go for Walgreens. The chart just tells you everything you need to know right there. So there you go with WBA, and there we go. Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. Let's see what is next here. Walgreens S dot. Let's see. All right, SDOT. Let's see what's going on here. 391 pulling back, and yeah, down 6 cents. But I'm telling you, this thing's in a great spot too to try to get set up. So here we go. Let's look at S dot. Yeah, it's over that 20 and looking pretty great there. December 9th was at bottom at 340. It's at 391. And like we said, we saw it run back up. It hit that resistance up there at that 550, and it's going to make its way back up there. At least it looks like it wants to. Let's keep an eye on it tomorrow. I'll definitely keep an eye on that bad boy, that stock, because it does look like it wants to run up there. It should have got over that area, but it did hit resistance as it got to the top. And yeah, it will set back up and look pretty good. So there you go, SDOT. And there you go with S dot. I'll keep an eye on it. Let's look at all these quantum ones, that QUBT, the quantum computing. These ones are great ones to just take a quick look at. They are pulling back, but they probably will get stuck at the 20. This one's 20 is right around 570. And if they pull back that far, we'll see if today was its bottom, because it did hit down that 515 before on December 3rd. And I'm not so sure it's going to get down that far. And again, that 575 area, what I just say, right around there, 570, right there is its 20. So maybe it tries to pull back to there, but I'm not so sure it does. So QUBT, yeah, I think it's going to try to get bouncing back. We'll keep an eye on this one tomorrow, and these could easily start bouncing back up. They came out of the top, and they made enough room where they could bounce back up if they really wanted to, or they could pull back through the MACD, come down a little bit more, and then cross up and get good. So we'll keep an eye on that one, QUBT, and let's look at the rest of them just to get an idea. QBTS, the D Wave Quantum. This one's pulling back here, and it was in the top for a while and pulling down, so let it pull back down. I think it still has a little bit more to pull back. That's QBTS. And again, these things ran up like crazy. And that 20 is down here at like 297. I'm not saying it's coming down that far, but today's low was 375. So you never know. And again, I think that one's going to come back a little bit. QMCO. This one was going up yesterday, and we thought it was. It hit the top, and it did pull back today, but I'm not so sure it's ready to pull back. This one is the only one, not the only one, but the one quantum one that could possibly run back up. It did run up, what, a 2201 to 26 today, and it's back to 19. So maybe not. Maybe it will pull back with the rest of them. But again, they're going to pull back and get set up right here and keep running. QTUM. Let's see what that's up to. That's the Defiance Quantum ETF. It was up 79 cents. And this one, I think, is going to get topped out right here. So, again, they all basically ran like crazy. QTUM, we'll keep an eye on that ETF. But I think we're getting topped out up there at that 78.49. And it's back to 76.05 right now. So that's a bunch of them quantum ones. And I know there's a couple more of them. IONQ, that was the other one. And I'm pretty sure RGTI, which we already did, is one of them too. But IONQ, this one pulled back and it run up in the top. So this one actually crossed through the 20. It's at 29.83. And maybe it'll stop here. I'm not sure if that's going to be its bottom. I'll look at it tomorrow. IONQ, but that is a nice pullback. And again, these will be great opportunities. You can tell they're going to set back up and run again. So we'll just have to find them. And I think we just go from sector to sector, like how these quantum ones were running, and we just go right to them and they just start cruising. So we can keep doing that as well and just find the ones that are popping, and also hit the Mag 7 ones and the big caps that are popping, so we can rock and roll them and even find the penny ones. But again, you better be up at 4 a.m. to trade them. I'm telling you right now, if you're not going to be up at 4 a.m. every morning, you don't probably want to mess with the penny stocks, because it's when they're moving right now. And that's when the opportunities are, and you'll hit the most profits. And honestly, by 7 a.m., they can be pulled back already down lower than you bought them. So there you go. That's how the market's been looking. And that's IONQ. And let's look at Lucid LCID, Lucid Group, because this one I think is going to get pulling back, cruising back up. It just popped up the other day, pulled back a little bit yesterday. It's in between that channel, still looks great, and it looks like it's curling back up. So another one we were super early on, and I think it's going to roll right back up there, LCID. So I think you're going to see some more movement on that one right there. And how about SOAR, SOAR? I was looking at it today, and it was pulled back a little bit, but I'll tell you what, it's getting to be right in the right spot right there. Just keep an eye on it. Maybe it just wants to wait another day or two, or maybe it wants to come down another couple cents, like into the 24-cent area. So just look at SOAR, but it is getting to be right there, and it is going to be soaring very, very soon. You can already see it. I mean, it just curled down a little bit, but I'm telling you, it has that look and that setup like it's going to get moving. So it is setting up right there, and keep an eye on it. HOOD, good old Robin Hood here, trying to figure out how to use this thing. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. But yeah, maybe I don't even have the option set up yet. I have to look at it again tonight and make sure. But again, Robinhood, HOOD, and this one was up a little bit, but I'm not so sure it's ready to bounce back. It might pull back a little bit more tomorrow, so just watch for that, and then it'll get set up and run again. So that's HOOD. And XTIA, I'm telling you, this thing just wants to get moving at some point. I'm not sure what it's waiting for. But I'll tell you what, it has some weird looks going on, and 86 million in volume. So keep an eye on it, guys, because I'm telling you, XTIA could be a mover right here. It does. It just has that look, and we've been looking at it. We're always early. It's just dragging that bottom line there, aerospace and defense. And for whatever reason, it just is not getting cruising yet, but it will be soon. So keep your eye on XTIA because I know it's going to get moving. And TWG, that Top Wealth Group holding, that was down a penny, but this one curled up and or curled through, and then it had a big dip today. So keep an eye on this one because it did have a really nice dip. TWG, would it come down to 22 cents? It's at 24. It opened at 25 and went to 27. And honestly, they just run around right now. That 20's up here a little bit at like 28 cents, so it kind of pulled away. I think today's dip was its bottom, so I think you might see this one start to cruise up a little bit. This is a Hong Kong company, Top Wealth Group holding TWG, and it did have that huge dip back in October, and it could be getting ready to rock and roll. We'll see tomorrow. I'll keep an eye on TWG. I'll put a mark next to that, and that could be its bottom right there. And ZONE, let's see what's happening with Zone because it was setting up. It was moving a little bit yesterday. Let me see what's happening here. It was cruising yesterday in the after hours, 128 to 239. And then today it went 225 down to 129 and it's at 161. So I'm telling you, these things will run up in the after hours and then pull right back. But I'll tell you what, too, this thing's still curling up and looking good. It has a crazy look today. According to FinViz, it opened and closed at the same price, but obviously we know that didn't happen because it opened at 225. It had gapped up, and then it closed at that 161. And again, that wasn't really the price yesterday. In the after hours, that was the closing price at about 4 o'clock. So there you go for ZONE. And again, the FinViz is just off. I mean, if you look at it, it's hard to tell. And then when you look at the trend spider, which I rely on all the time now because I know it's accurate and I can trust it and it's great, I can see exactly what's going on. So yeah, according to the FinViz, this thing you would think is going to blast off, but then you look at it, you're like, I mean, it could still pop up tomorrow. We'll have to take a quick look at it, but it does give you a little different look between the two, and I know which one's exactly right on. So let's look at Rime and see what this one's doing. It was pulling back. It tried to get running the other day, and now it's just pulling back again, and it's still going to get cruising. It's just a matter of when it wants to get reversed back up. It's still trying to curl back up there, so keep an eye on it. Like I said, it just dipped down. What it get down to? Like a little over 8.5. That's where it's at. 0.0863. And so, yeah, just keep an eye on this. We'll see if it can get curling up tomorrow. But it still looks like it's still setting up down here. It doesn't look terrible. This MGNI, I know we looked at this yesterday, and this thing was just jumping around. And I'm telling you, this thing wants to get set up here, MGNI. So take a look at it, 1723 to 1766, down to 1663, and it's at 1712 right now, and it is looking pretty good. It's setting up super bullish. I don't know why it pulled back the other day, but it does look pretty nice, and it looks like they promoted Sean Buckley to president and revenue, and Kate Evans to president of operations or something. So I guess they're making some promotions in there. I just scrolled down and looked, and that's what it says here. So again, Magnite is looking pretty good right here. MGNI. So keep an eye on that one. And let's look at that PW. It's been dipping down. And like I said, I tell you guys when it's ready. And it's just hitting that 20. And I still don't think it's ready. I think it might have to come to this 50 at like 125. So let me take a look at PW tomorrow. But doing exactly what I thought it would be doing. It did. It came down to 114 right there. So there you go. It's at 126 on mine. See, again, it tells me the wrong shit on FinViz. 137 is what it says. And then it says in the after hours it's 132, and it's really at 126 and came down to 114. And I know the trend spider's dead on, so I know that's what happened. And so yeah, you look at it, gives you a crazy look. And but yeah, we know, and I'm telling you, this is exactly what I saw when I first looked at it the other day, and people were talking about it. And it was up here. I know it was December 6th. Its high was 228. We're down here at 132, and the other day before that, December 5th, it ran up to 259. And again, we're at 132 or even lower. So we're at like 125. So there you go with this. And again, ran now it's hitting this line. I'll look at it tomorrow, PW, and we'll see what it wants to do. So yeah, I'll let you know if that gets ready. And again, it will pop back up there, but it wasn't ready to move when people were looking at it there. So there you go. We'll get it right at the bottom. And when it's ready to cruise up, SBFM, let's look at the Sunshine and Biopharma. This one just kind of pulled back, looking good in between that channel right there. This one will get cruising. I don't know what it was up to today, but it's getting rolling soon. So watch for SBFM. That's going to have some sunshine real soon and be cruising. So look for that SBFM and CADL. How about this monster of one? This one we were looking at Candel Therapeutics. Remember we were looking at this CADL, and we were looking at it for a while there. And today it went from $5 to 14.60. So there you go. And again, another one we were super early with, and it had a beautiful setup right there. And you just kind of saw that was going to run. I remember looking at it, saying it was getting set up, and CADL, it got set up and it ran. So there you go with that one. Just a monster. I'm not so sure it's going to continue, but that was a beauty. And how about NIVF? I know we looked at this one before. And we looked at it yesterday, but we were looking at it before that. New Gen LVF something group, and kind of ran up today. It was curling through. Let me see. NIVF. Let me see. It went from 46 to 104, and another and low is 31 back to 32. So I mean these things fly fast. And again, penny stocks, you better be on there with your finger on the sell button, watching the entire time. I don't know what the time frame is. I guess I could look right here on the minute and tell you when it got to its top was. And usually it's early in the morning, but yeah, it was early in the morning. It got up at like 99 cents up there at like 7 a.m. So, I mean, and then it just continuously dropped down the entire day after that. So again, these things, I mean, they run up really fast, or they run up in the after hours or the pre-market at 4 a.m. on Web Bull. So you got to be really, really careful with any of these penny stocks if you're jumping into them, especially if you're on like an E-Trade account or any of these other big account platforms that aren't trading at 4 a.m., because you could miss the boat, or if you're not paying attention to it, like I said, runs up like crazy and pulls back real fast. So just something to keep in mind if you're going to mess with the penny stocks. Worksport Ltd. This was up 4 cents. This one looks really good though. WKSP Worksport looks like it's curling back up and wants to run some more. So keep an eye on that. That looks like it has some nice momentum right there. And how about MPWR? Let's see what that's doing tonight. MPWR. Whoa, this one was a monster. Oh, well, this one's up like this is a $623 stock, but this was recently at 900. So this is going to be a great one to look at for options. Might be pricey, but it's going to be moving. It was up 28.50 today. And let me see. PWR. Here we go. Yeah, because it does want to run up to that like 747 area. I might have to watch this one tomorrow. MPWR. I like that one right there. So let me look at that one down there. MPWR. I'll keep an eye on that bad boy. Like I said, it does want to run up there. And that's purely an options play because, again, it's a $623 stock. And when you try to break down the logistics, you're just not, what are you going to buy, like 4 shares and have it run up? What, like I said, $100, you make $400 to put out that kind of money. I mean, that's a joke. You're not going to risk that kind of money to make $400. It's just not doing it. So you're going to look at your options again. It's just crazy what the leverage and the percentages are, and yeah, it's wild. I just have to tell you, is real quick. At the end of the day, the Google one, right? Because I took a little quick shot of it. Hold on, I have to tell you. Uh, One was up 446%. That expiration is the 27th. So what's that? Like next week or something? No, after Christmas. So in 2 weeks, because Christmas is actually 2 weeks from today, guys, is Christmas. How crazy is that? So yeah, that one's up 446%. And the expiration for January 3rd is up 370%. So there you go. I mean, that's they're the Google options right there, and I'm telling you, it's just wild. I mean, that's crazy percentages. I bought them Friday afternoon right before the market closed, and you're talking percentages like that. You don't even see that in penny stocks that fast. And I mean, maybe once here and there, but I mean, you get to 100%, 150, you're pretty good. These things are just cruising. That Google should look good tomorrow, I think. We'll go over it, but yeah, I mean, it's just kind of crazy when you look at that percentage and that leverage, and honestly, didn't even put up that much money for it, and it's way up. So, yeah, it's just crazy. And again, I'll get you guys more involved. I know in 2025, we're just going to destroy the market. That MPWR is a semiconductor company, so I think they're going to be doing good. We'll be looking at all them big caps and checking them out, but I'll be looking at that one. And let's get cruising here, CEAD. But I was just trying to make an example. Like that's 620 something dollars. You're not buying the shares. You're looking at the options. Yeah, it might be a $600 option, but guess what? You'll have 100 shares at leverage. And if you know it's going up and it goes up that $100, you're making some crazy money right there. So it's well worth that 600. And again, you would have to buy, what would you buy? One share at, even if it was 700, you're only buying one share for that price, and if it goes up $100, you're gonna make $100, and that's it. And with that same $600 or $700, you buy an option, and it can go up exponentially. I mean, it can be wild the amount it goes up. It's kind of crazy. I had no idea it was like that. I mean, I've been told that, and I keep telling you guys this, but to see it with my own eyes, I'm just like, wow. And again, you guys know, I mean, I literally just started doing it a couple months ago and just started doing it myself and taught myself how to do it. So clearly, any of you can do it, and I'll show you what I've been doing. And yeah, you can see you can crush the market, and you can even do it while they're going down too. So it's just as easy. And but now the market's hot, so you might as well run them up, and then when it gets cold, you'll run them down. So there you go. CEAD, that's CEA Industries. Let's look at it. This thing's been running up and been looking good here, and it looks like it wants to continue up. It ran 784 to 849 today, and it looks like it's just kind of getting started again. So keep an eye on this. It got into the top, and it looks like it has some good momentum right there. CEAD. So watch that one. PERI. Perian Network. Oh, that's a good setup right there, guys. I would keep my eyes on that. I can promise you PERI is going to bounce and pop up. I promise you. PERI is going to pop up there. I can guarantee it. I can just tell you by looking at it immediately. I could tell you that. And looking at mine, I can tell you it just has that look. It's going to get I mean, it has everything going for it. I can't tell you 100%, but I would say 99% it's going to pop. There's a 1% chance it goes down. And especially the way it looks right here, it just looks really, really good. So watch that thing in the morning. Take a look at it, guys. PERI. It's a internet content and information company in Israel. And yeah, it looks good. It ran up the other day on December 3rd to 9:15. You're looking at it at 9:05 and 9:07 on here. And yeah, it's just ready to rock and roll. You can just see it. I could see it and feel it. We'll definitely keep an eye on it. How's that? PERI, you can just see that one. HLVX. And where was that one at? $9, I say? Yeah, 905. So I'll be honest, what's it having? I mean, it has some room to move, guys. So keep your eye on that one in the morning, everybody. PERI. I think you're going to want to look at that. It does have that look right there. HLVX is Helivax. And I know we looked at this before. It recently was running up, but it started to curl up again. I did see this today, and someone mentioned mentioned it as well. So there you go. And yeah, it does have that. It ran up the other day. What days were it? December 5th and then the 6th, and it just pulled back a little bit, but it does have that look like it wants to bounce back up. So we'll keep an eye on it and see if it wants to definitely keep its way up there. It does look like it wants to reach the top there. So that's HLVX, Hillyvax, and it is looking good. CPIX, Cumberland Pharmaceuticals right there. And let's see, 242. And it is kind of just, it ran up what, yesterday, December 10th? It did. And then today, let me see what this did, CPIX, because it did run up there, like I said yesterday, 193 to 325. And then today, it's just kind of pulling back. I'd have to look at this one. It does look like it's trying to bounce back up, but I'm not exactly sure. It's still in the top. I can't exactly tell. I'd have to look at CPIX to tell you what it wanted to do. And turn 180-degree capital. And this one is turning back down. But let's see if it wants to bounce. It was making a nice base there. It might be a nice little pullback today, and it could turn and start going back up tomorrow. If not, it's going to come back down to that 352 area, and it's at 363. So we'll see what kind of turn that wants to make, if it's going to turn up or if it's going to turn down some more. So that's a 180-degree capital, TURN, and we'll keep an eye on that one because it's going to bounce. And even if it comes down to that 20, it should bounce back up. It looks pretty solid up there. So we will keep an eye on that. And GOVX, let's look at GeoVax. And this one was pretty much setting up right there. And it's just pulling back a little bit. Has that look in between that channel? I think we're just going to have to wait for it to be in that channel and get set up a little bit better. But it does look pretty good, I have to say. So I'll keep an eye on GOVX tomorrow. It is setting up right there, I can tell you that. So we will look at it. And how about BURU? Buru. That is good old Nubaru. That was down 18 cents and touching the bottom there. Let's see what that's up to. Buru, whoa, what did this do today? Holy cow, it went from 45 to 70 down to 16. This was crazy. And then back to 44, and it looks really good on mine. I'm not going to lie, it still looks crazy. This thing looks wild. I know we've looked at this before, but holy cow, what a run today. And honestly, it came down to that bottom, and it could make a nice bounce tomorrow. Keep an eye on Buru. I gotta see that tomorrow. Wow, that was pretty wild right there. BURU. So yeah, we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that one, huh? Let's look at RGF here. Real good food company is getting really good, guys. So keep an eye on that. RGF, real good food company, looking good and right in the right spot. RGF. Yeah, what it do today? It ran up some 27. It closed yesterday at 26. It opened at 27, came down to 24. That's where it's at, but it looked really good on here. I'll have to look at it tomorrow. I think it's still setting up to try to run up higher. I think it still wants to get up into that 30 area. So I'll take a look at that RGF and see what it wants to do right there. I'll take a look. It does still look like it's setting up. Fami was looking good yesterday and earlier. Let me see. Yeah, Fami's setting up. I'm telling you. Glad someone mentioned this one because this one is setting up. FAMI. I definitely saw this earlier, and it's right between that channel, and it is setting up here. So keep an eye on Fami. It might have a week or so, but it is looking pretty good to try to move. So that's getting set up down the road. GMM. Which one is that one? Global MoFi AI Ltd. Recently split November 26th. And let's see. This one's trying to get in the right spot. Had them looks and trying to get there. GMM, I have a feeling this one's going to be popping real soon, guys. It just has to get over that $4. It's at 349. It ran up to 390 today. And it basically has to get to like 405 just about, and it can get cruising off of there, and it has some room. It can get up into the fives up there, probably 550 if it wanted to. So yeah, keep an eye on this. It does look like it's trying to set up, and it does have something AI in its name. So anything with a global MoFi AI Ltd, it's a China company. You know this thing could probably move. It has that look like it's trying to. It has that. It's been setting up. It split, ran up, never went through the 20, and should run up higher right there. So that's GMM, and keep an eye on that. And how about QLGN, that collagen therapeutics, and that one's pulling back here down to the bottom. QLGN. And yeah, that one is pulling back. It's about to hit the line, the MACD too, and that bottom. So I would expect it to try to bounce. It was sitting in a great spot right there. It looked like it was trying to make a base. And maybe today's a little dip and rip because it came down to 387. It's at 390 right now. It opened at 450. So I will keep an eye on that one, see if it's a dip and rip situation. How about Hut? This one was up a dollar today. I did see this one trying to curl back up, HUT, and it is trying to move as crypto was looking much better, 25.89 to 30.88. So that was its bottom yesterday, that 24.63, and it is at 30.50 right now, and it looks like it's going to curl right back through the MACD and keep on cruising. Has that resistance up here at 30.75, so we'll see if it wants to get into the top when it gets up there. So there you go at Hut, HUT. And let's look at Boyle and Cold look real quick. Boyle, I'm telling you, is getting hot. It was up 327 and $3.27. It's at 44.44. And it does look pretty warm right there. Like I said, it was warming up, looking good, and it is getting boiled. So it's curling through and it's going to run. And yeah, they're going to change direction. You can already see it. Boyle's been really bearish for a while, and it's going to get bullish. And Cold, KOLD, that was down 523, and that's pulling back. And like I said, that one should come down. And the support lines at 55, say 55.99, we'll even say maybe a little lower. And you're at 58.69 around there. And yeah, you might even come through there. And like I said, I think this one's going to try to set up to get bearish possibly. So I'll keep my eye on them. And again, they are definitely cold is cold and boil is hot right there. So they should continue up. MSPR. Let's see MSP recovery here. MSPR. And this one I know had run up recently on the 6th to 412. And honestly, looks like it's trying to get set back up here. So MSPR, trying to come off that 20. It stayed between that channel too, which was perfect. 228 and 278 right here. And it is curling back up. So that one's setting back up and trying to get moving again. So that's MSPR and VRAR. Let's see what VRAR is up to. VRAR, Glimpse Group Inc. That one was popping today. I know Laptop Travel was checking this bad boy out too. And it has run up the last few days, had that little healthy pullback look yesterday. And yeah, today 110 to 195, down to 102, but it's closing at 150 right there and not looking bad. So this one, keep an eye on it. It is in the top. It could keep that momentum early tomorrow. So that's one to keep an eye on in the morning because it could keep that momentum there. CTM, let's see what that's doing here. CTM, let's see, that's down 2 cents. It had recently run up there on December 6th. This one looks like it's going to have to pull back some. Let me see how much. CTM, yeah. This one's going to pull back a little more, so we'll take a look at this later on because that just ran up and has a little pullback on it. CRVO, let's see this one. This one's a nice dip down here. I like this guy. CRVO. This, well, let me type it in right. CRVO. Nice dip yesterday. Real good dip. 929 down to 211. It's what we like to see. Not for company's sake, but for hitting them at the bottom and riding them back up, finding when they want to go. And today it ran a little 209 to 240, and it's at 194 right now. So definitely keep my eye on CRVO because that will be one to keep an eye on because it will set back up and run. I mean, it'll at least bounce up a little bit into the $3 or $4 range, and that's a great hit right there. So we'll watch that one for when it's ready. And let's take a look at ASRT, Assertio Holdings. This one was getting set up. I know we looked at that not long ago, and it is curling up. Put it on the list yesterday, and today, what it do? I'll tell you what it did. ASRT, 98 to a dollar. down to 93, but closed at 98. It's curling up, guys, and it's looking much better. ASRT, so keep an eye on that one because it wants to run. It is getting set up to pop up there, so just keep an eye on ASRT. It's looking decent to move. And there you go with that one right there. And Mogu, this one was looking good last night. I put it on the list. It was running up a little bit today. Nothing too crazy. Like I said, it's in that channel. But today it did what, 218 to 225. Its low is 207, but it's at 224 and it is crawling up, looking good. It is a China company right here. It's setting up. Has to get back over that 230. Maybe it'll try to tomorrow. It's curling through pretty good right there. So keep an eye on this Mogu. Looked at that last night, so that's setting up as well. And WISA, this one was down a penny, up a penny in the after hours, and it's just curling to hit that line. So it's setting up right here. We'll see if it gets ready. It ran 166 to 167 down to 161, and it's at 162. So nothing real crazy, just a little pullback, and it is getting set up. So keep an eye on that WISA. Maybe it pulls back a little bit, but it is getting set up. And CVS was way down today too. Um, Way down actually, 51.76. So CVS, let me see what you did. Whoa, what did I type in? CVS 55.12 down to 51.73, and it's at 51.79. So a nice big dip on CVS. And I know they all had like all of them had kind of bad news. I forget exactly what happened. Shoot. Let me see. I know it says CVS might be the last drugstore stock. Should it be broken up? I forget exactly what was going on. Were they forcing drug middlemen to sell pharmacies? Lawmakers, I bill forcing drug middlemen to sell pharmacies or something. So we'll see what's going on with that. I know that was some news today, and it made all of them dip. And again, the Walgreens obviously announced that they were possibly in talks to sell to a private equity firm. So a lot of stuff going on with your drugstores. It's hard enough to get your prescriptions as it is now. It looks like it's about to become a nightmare there. So that is your pharmaceutical companies, and they destroy everything. They seem to know how to make a lot of money and not provide a lot of help for people. So what an amazing business model right there, and it's just a big scam. But there you go with our pharmacies, and they don't look good at all. And people that rely on medicine, it's probably getting harder and harder to get it. And here you go. It's not looking healthy for any of them at the moment. So even CVS, I mean, isn't looking healthy as a company. That one's going to set up and pop, though. You can see it off the bottom. We might as well catch it, too. I mean, we'll be perfect. So we'll catch CVS's little pop right there. And how about VMAR, Vision Marine Technology? This one's about to try to get out of the basement. Made a nice base down here. It's at 176. VMAR. And yeah, this one's getting curled up and wants to get cruising. So keep an eye on this guy because that wants to move. And what did I even write there? MAJI. I tried to write them all clear. And I have no idea. What did I even write? MACI maybe? I doubt it's that. Let me see this. What the heck did I even write here? MAJI. That's what I definitely wrote. I don't know what it is. Let me see if it comes up on mine. MAJI. It does. I don't even know this one. Marijuana Inc. I'm not even familiar with this. How do I not know this company? Probably because it's an OTC and I don't really look at them much, but MAJI, Marijuana Inc. And it did pop up yesterday, December 10th. It's a 5 center, and it was at 5 cents today, and that's all it looked like it did was move at 5 cents. But yesterday it went from 3 cents to five, and let me see what it looks like. I guess it wants to go up higher. I mean, it's so hard to tell with these OTCs, and so yeah, that's why I don't really look at them. So that's probably why I don't really know that one. But there you go. MAJI is that one. And I am not familiar with that as a matter of fact. So there you go with that. And CLNV, that might be an OTC too. Yeah, let me see. CLNV, Clean Vision Corp. That looks like it's pulling back to me right now. But again, these OTCs are tough. That's like a penny and a half. And I just don't know what they really do. I usually don't look at the OTCs because it's hard for me to get a good look on them. That's why I never mess with them. This one might be too. FILG. Yeah, grayscale file coin. And it looks like it pulled back, could roll off of there. Could roll off of that pullback today, but I have no idea what it's like. It's an $80 stock, and it's I don't even know what's up with this thing. It's on the Nasdaq. Hold on, let me see. FILG. Yeah, it don't even come up on here. It comes up on here. Grayscale file coin. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest, with that one. So it does look like it wants to pop up, but I'm not exactly sure there. BCHG. Let me see if that one. Yeah, none of these are popping up on both of them. I could tell on Finviz if they're not popped up on there. This is a Grayscale Bitcoin Cash, and they are on the Nasdaq. I'm not sure what's up with this. This one looks pretty good though. It looks like it wants to roll up, and that's BCHG. So I'm not sure why they're not coming up on Finviz, but they definitely aren't. Let me look at these other guys real quick. ATOS. This one should actually. ATOS. Hold on. ATO. What is going on here? There we go. ATOS. This one definitely does. I knew that one would. And this one crossed through, had a nice little pullback dip today, and did run up actually 131 to 135, back down to 123 right now. And let me see. It's curled through, but pulling back, it's hard to tell. It could pull back right here to the 120 area. It's at 122, so it's right there. But yeah, it looks like it's just trying to set up to get running. So I'll keep an eye on that. It could move ATOS. It's just not giving me that perfect look tonight. So I can look at that tomorrow. CGTX looks decent though. Let me confirm that. CGTX. This one looks pretty nice. Yeah, that one ran up a little, 43 to 52. It's at 50 and looks like it wants to continue that momentum. So that one does look good right there. CGTX and SNSE. This one was getting set up. I know we looked at it. I was saying let it pull back a little bit. So yeah, it's a good one to look at real quick. And yeah, it's right about there. It's let it pull back maybe even tomorrow and down to that 41 area. It's actually up to 45 in the after hours. It looks like what, 46 to 43. It closed at 45. Today could be its bottom. So keep an eye on this bad boy, that SNSC. We looked at it before. It ran up right when we looked at it, and I think that one wants to pop again. So it is setting up in the right spot. MDAI. Is that what I think that is? MDAI. Yeah, that spectral AI one. And this one I think is going to pop back up into the top here. So keep an eye on this. And then again, any of these with the word AI in them just are running now. So MDAI is curling back up. Looks like it wants to get back up into the top and just and cruise up there. So keep an eye on that in the morning. And how about that Rich Tech Robotics RR was down 2 cents. This one's just kind of pulling back. It did run up to yesterday and the day before up to what, that $1.06 area, maybe even a little higher. RR. Let's see, $1.06 area. And it's hard to tell. I'd have to look at this tomorrow. It could bounce back up there, to be honest with you. It's not looking terrible, let's put it that way. So it could definitely bounce back up a little bit. Today could be a little healthy pullback. I can look at that one tomorrow, and I'll basically be able to tell for that one. Probably I'll write it down, RR, because I think I'll be able to tell what it wants to do right there. OPTX, let's see what that's doing. OPTX, that one's running up tonight, and or it did today. I mean, OPTX, and it did 95 to 164. It closed at 128, and it did have a big spike there. And it could continue. It does look like it wants to get up there in the morning. Another one. Watch it early in the morning, guys, because that one could spike up there, but again, could be up there early and then pull back with no problem. So that's OPTX, EYEN, EYEN, Inovia, And this one's been down in the basement for quite some time. It curled through. It did run up yesterday to that 12 cents under 13. It's at 9 right now, EYEN. And just a little bit flat. The 20 is where at 13. This is at 9. I think it just has a little more setting up to do, is what it looks like. So it tried to do it yesterday and it just couldn't get out moving. And so it might just have a little more setting up to do. So we will keep an eye on EYEN Inovia. And let's look at ORIS here. Well, what did I even type in? I have no idea. ORIS. Here we go. Oriental Rise Holding. This one looks like a fairly new one. Did it just start October 17th? Ran up into the top the other day, December 5th. Let me see this thing. ORIS. I think I remember looking at this when it ran up there that day. It ran, oh yeah, 836 to $57. I remember this one. And then it ran the next day 11 to 1540. And it has pulled back. Where are we at right now? 237 to 249, back to 201, and it's at 212. So there you go. It's at 212. Let me take a look at it. It's just running flat right there. I'll look at this tomorrow, ORIS, and see if it does want to get cruising again, because it could easily, not easily, it could start to bottom out and then start to curl up. So I will take a look at it, because that one's got a lot of room. Obviously, if it does, if it ran up to, what I say, $57 the other day, and it's at 210. So we're right around there, 211. So yeah, it has a lot of room. If it starts curling up, it'll definitely move at least something. So you can squeeze something out of that one with no problem. How about that ICU, that C Star Medical Holding? Remember, this was one of the very first poppers when I first started the show, started doing this. This was one of the very first ones that people had hit. I remember ICU, it ran pretty well, and people were pretty excited about it. We were talking about it. I know I started doing it back in June, and this thing ran up back July 9th up to like 1385, maybe even higher than that. And you're looking at a 209 right now, but we had been looking at it down here at like the $3 area, and again it ran up to 13 plus, and and yeah, that was in about a month's time, 3 weeks, as we were looking at it, was running up, and went crazy. And now it's back down. Let's see, because it was in the basement. It did get out. It has that look today, like it could be its bottom, like had that little dip and rip kind of look. It popped up, what, 239 to 324, and it's now back to 196. It's like looking at two different charts right here. But whatever. I'm fine with that. But yeah, it looks like it's going to hit that MACD and try to curl off. I don't think it's going to come down through it and get back into the basement, because of the bottoms right there. It should hold it up. And it does look like today could even be its bottom, maybe tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on this ICU. And again, this one ran really big before, and it was just ran up and has pulled back ever since. It even split since then. And oh, it split right before we were looking at it, actually. It split right there. And yeah, now it's just way down, but it does look like it's trying to get set back up. So we'll take a look at that ICU and see what it wants to do. And NEHC, New Era Helium. Wow, this one took a nice dip into the basement. Let's see, NEHC. We definitely like these. And yeah, nice dip the last few days. Yesterday was a crazy day for it. 1180 to 1497, and back down to 468. It closed at 560, and then today obviously opened at 560, up to 620, and down to 368. It's at 528. This thing's running around, and it's way down here in the basement, just curling, like making a flat move. Today could be its bottom on this NEHC. I'll look at this one tomorrow. That's a really good one to take a look at, because that'll have a nice bounce when it's ready. I was just about to say, it looks like a shell company. You can just tell, like, at the top, they just run flat at the top and have this weird look. And then I looked up and it says shell company. So there you go. It is a shell company for sure. And yeah, they just have this certain look when they are a shell company, or if they something's weird with it, they do the same thing. I know I was involved in a couple, and they had been merged, or they've been purchased, bought out, and the stock would jump up to all the way up there and just run flat like that, and then all of a sudden, it would just cash out. Like I guess they end that one ticker and they just cash them out for you. I don't know exactly what happens, but yeah, I've had that happen to me before, and so yeah, that looked like a shell company, and it was, and it is, and but it is way down there, and it should be bouncing back up. So we'll keep an eye on it. MBOT, Microbot Medical. This one's setting up, guys. I can tell you another one that's going to be popping up soon, and that's this guy right here. According to that chart, let me confirm that. It does look pretty good right there. It was trying to run yesterday, got up to 110, and today 98 to 104. It does look like it's trying to run, so I think it's trying to set up MBOT, and that is Microbot Medical, and it does look decent right there. And let's look at J. Hold on, what does that even say? JNVR. If I click on the thing, JNVR. Here we go, Janover. And this one is moving up to the top. This could be a little momentum play in the morning, just the way it looks right there as it got into the top. So keep your eye on that. It could get up to that dollar, has resistance right there at a dollar for JNVR. So that one could be a runner in the morning for you guys. And now let's look at our laptop travel list, and then we'll go through our crypto and big caps, and I'll run through the messages, see what you guys want to see, and we'll hit the scanners and see what's going to be popping. Anything else jumps out to us. So here we go. Let's cruise through these because I'm sure half of these are almost two-thirds or almost all of them are set up. AKAN, let's look at it. Sitting there on that 20, just getting set up right there. It's going to just trade between this channel right here. But yeah, definitely setting up 153 to 173. Just watch it trading that channel to get set up, and it will get running. BEDU, Bright Scholar Education Holdings, and this one kind of ran up today. It looks like BEDU. Let's see, BEDU 185 to 213, and it closed at 195. It doesn't look terrible, but it did run up today, so I'd probably have to look at it. It might even trade between this little channel right here, and it's not little 204 and like 180, so it's quite a channel. If it does do that, that's a China Education and Training Services. You'll have a nice little area to trade it, and it does run like 20 cents almost every day. So keep an eye on that BEDU. And how about CNET, CNET? And this one is setting up again. Just in between that channel, it could be a next weeker, honestly. So keep an eye on it. It should run back up to that 192. It's at 176 and run between there as it sets up. So that's CNET. And how about GDHG? We used to look at this one, a small cap China one, and this one is getting set up. And some of these small cap China ones, like we've been saying, are. And yeah, this one's going to run between the channel 172 and 207 and get set up to get moving right there. You can already see that getting set up in the next week or two. And that's GDHG and GIPR. Let's see, GIPR, Generation Income Properties. And this bad boy is just pulling back right there. GIPR. And let's see, right in between that 20, it was trying to run up the last 2 days and it didn't get moving. So it's just going to sit here and trade in this channel 185 to 194. And then that one's going to set up. So all these are perfect setups for the next week or two. So MSGM, Motorsport Games, a little bit of pullback right there. Could easily bounce off that line right there. MSGM. Let me see. Well, where'd it go? Hold on. MSGM. Why isn't that coming up on here? That's weird. Came up on what's that date? Yeah, that's so weird. Didn't come up on mine. Oh, here it is. MSGM. That was so weird. Then I just typed in Apple and it came up. What the heck is even going on here? I might have to X out of the Trend Spider and hop back in real quick because it's acting a little strange. Hold on, real quick. What am I doing? Here, hold on. Trend Spider, let me launch this thing and see. I might have to, sometimes you have to do this just to make it work right. MSGM, there it is. MSGM, all right, yeah, in between that channel And yeah, something was happening with that thing. And just kind of pulling back. It'll probably be in that channel as it sets up. So that's MSGM. It's exactly what it looked like. And let's see what is OLB looking like. OLB group. This one's going to be setting up relatively soon, getting to be in that right spot, unless it pulls back a little bit. So I'll look at it tomorrow, OLB, and just see. It may want to jump up here to that 206. It's at 183, but it could also pull back just a little bit and stay down and then get set up. So that's one I would look at. PALT, Pal Talk, and this one's getting set up to move. I actually saw this one today, PALT, and this one is getting set up to move. So I would take a look at that one if you want to look at one that's ready to get cruising there. RELI, that one is setting up too and looks pretty good. RELI, so I would take a look at that. RELI, Reliance Global Group. And yeah, just setting up right there. Looks pretty good on mine. So I would take a look at it. It's definitely getting set up there. This one's looking much better though. PALT, RHE. Let's see that one. RHE. Here we go at Regional Health Properties. That one's just pulling back into that channel. So probably just going to trade in that channel right now. And yeah, it looks like at 161 to 175, it's at 164. So just watch for that. And that one's definitely going to set up and get moving. RHE. So keep an eye on that. RVYL. What is this one up to? This one is trying to set up there. Let me look at this one. RVYL. This is an interesting look in between that channel, but trying to curl up. I have to look at this tomorrow because it just has that weird look, and you can't really tell if it's ready to pop or if it wants to pull back. So I don't want to say either or just because I can't really tell. If I had to guess, I would say it's trying to set up the pop, but that again would just be a guess right now. So I can look at RVYL tomorrow and get a better idea. SELX, that's at 143, touching some resistance up there, but trying to curl up. This one looks like it wants to try to run up some more. I would keep an eye on this in the morning as well. That one looks like it wants to keep that momentum. And SIDU. Sidious Space, SIDU. Let me see what you are doing there. Sidious Space is a aerospace and defense, and it did pull back. And I think yesterday and today where it's bottom 128, 128, and it does look like it wants to curl up. I would take a look at SIDU. It looks like it's in a really good spot right there and could get moving tomorrow. So keep an eye on that. SIDU looking good, and SOGP. Let's see this one, SOGP. And that one's in between the channel, just going to run between the 189 and 177. And today it was 188 to 178. So there you go. And that is our laptop travel list right there. Let me go ahead and look at crypto real quick. Then I'll go through the messages. We'll look at our big caps, see what's going on, what our best opportunities are in the scanners. And there we are. Here we go with crypto. Let's take a look at it, see what it's up to tonight. And it was looking good earlier. And Bitcoin is at 101, 101,541. So it blasted right back through that 100,000. Remember, I was saying last night that was getting squeezed between that 10 and 30 and was going to rock and roll. Well, there you go. It did exactly that. I mean, it squeezed it and popped it up, and it was exactly what I was talking about right there. So there you go with that. So Ethereum's at 3,873 right now, and that one is going to get based out and moving. Yeah, it came down, touched the 10, or I'm sorry, it touched the 30. Keep mixing up the 10 and the 30 because they're just so different now. But it touched that 30 right there and it wants to bounce back up. And that's Ethereum. Ripple's at 240 again, XRP. And that one is made that nice base. And it is curled through coming down and does look like it could pull back a little bit. So maybe Ripple might pull back. We'll have to keep an eye on that one and see if it does at all. Solana's back to 228. And this one is going to start curling back up and making a nice run back up. And again, these things made some nice room and didn't even pull back that much. You're just seeing a little correction and basically correcting itself on the chart so it can go a little higher because they just run so high up and then they just kind of run out of room. You can only go up and down in the 70s so much. And these things do it way more than a stock could ever do it. So they eventually have to pull back to go up higher. And that's all you're seeing. And Cardano's back to 112. And that one popped back off of that 30 right there. And what else do we have? Doge at 41. And let's see what Doge is ready to do. It popped off that 30. Oh, that one's about to get squeezed up too. I think Doge is about to have a wild run coming up, guys. Chainlink's up to 26 right now. And looking pretty decent. It looks like it wants to get curling up hard. So Chainlink looks like it wants to run. Sheaves up like over 9%. And I've been saying this thing's been wanting to run, and this thing's going to get moving, I think, too. So I think that's going to have a nice curl up and get cruising for Sheeb. And let's look at our WIF and see what that's doing. WIF is at 317. That's up 10%, up 30 cents. And that one's starting to try to curl back up. So they are looking much better right now. Let's look at Bonk, BONK, and that's up like 13%. And let's see. And that one actually doesn't look exactly perfect yet, but it made so much room on the chart that it could be a great one. So I'll watch Bonk and tell you because that one could be a great one to run back up pretty nice. And let's look at that Floki real quick, FLOKI, and see what that's doing. And that one's up like 11%. And that one I think wants to get squeezed up and get cruising. So keep your eye on that Floki because that one looks really good as well. And there you go with them bad boys. And what's Stellar XLM? We'll look at that. It's at 44 cents. And that one is just kind of making it's in between that channel, just kind of pulling back, but it will get set up, Stellar XLM. And there you go with some crypto, guys. So let me know if you want to see any other ones. But there you go with them bad boys. Let me go through our see what you guys want to see, the messages, and then we'll hit our big caps and see what else is happening on our scanner. So here we go. Let me see what you guys want to look at real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Let me see. I will definitely teach this, Jennifer Lee. I did post that today, and yeah, it's telling you, and that was it was up even more. The first one's up over like 6 grand, and the other one's up over like 1,500, and they should be up even more tomorrow. And like I was saying before this one, I was telling you guys you could easily do start doing $10,000 hits, 10K hits, and there you go. I just was experimenting. I wanted to see how much I needed to put in and how quick I could do it. And I'm honestly pretty impressed at the results. And I telling you, we could do this once or twice a week with no problem. I mean, it's a piece of cake, especially when the market's moving like this. It's even easier. And if it's moving down like this, it's pretty easy as well. So the only time is if it's running completely flat. And so then you just take a little bit of time off and enjoy your hobbies, I guess. But yeah, no, you could still hit a bunch of them during flat times. There's plenty of them moving all the time. So yeah, no, these options are crazy. I'm telling you, I love it. And I've seen big returns, I promise you, on penny stocks. I've never seen things like this before, and I love it. So I know 2025 is going to be amazing. And remember, guys, I was telling you guys a while back, I said by Halloween, so you know I was telling you a while back, Halloween it'd start getting good, by Thanksgiving it'd start getting really good, and it would be getting great, and then by Christmas and New Year's it'd start getting amazing. So look at that. I mean, talk about getting amazing right there. And like I said, I'll teach you guys how to do that. So don't worry, Jennifer Lee, we will definitely all learn and have a good time. And it is fun to make money together, I promise you. So I'll teach you guys. And again, I'm just experimenting, teaching myself, and I'll pass what I learned off to you guys, and we'll have a good time, like I said, and lock in some profits. And there you go. Also, Laptop Travel said he might start posting up a couple option plays that he likes each week and or each night. So we will look for that as well. And he did post a couple. He had the Apple options. I'll actually repost this so you guys can just see it real fast. And but yeah, he has the Apple options. Um, RGTI, the CLSK, and the GGLL. Which one's that? That's the Google one? Yeah, the Google Bull. That's what I thought. Yeah, that thing's way up today, like $5. I mean, Jesus God, that thing just shot up. The ETF, I mean, that thing's paying off well too. Again, I have these, I trade in two different accounts, so I loaded them up in both accounts just to see. And yeah, it was pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. It was a beautiful first one to load up on, and now I know exactly what to look for, the expiration timing and everything like that. I feel really confident with it. I'll tell you that right now. And as long as they move like this, give me like 6 to 8 months of this, and it'll be golden. I promise you. So there you go. And yeah, I reposted that. You guys can even see the expiration dates and everything that Laptop Travel had posted. And so there you go with them. Um, NEHC, it says NEHC. Let's see what that. Did we look at that? I don't even remember. New Year. Yeah, that one. What did he say? He said, look at the 4 hour chart. Let me see. I don't even have a 4 hour chart on here. Again, I don't really, I'll look at the 1 hour chart. And that is the 1 hour looks really good. You're not lying about that. So yeah, the 1 hour chart looks good. Let's see, the 30 minutes not too bad. But 15's coming down, five's flat, 3 minutes flat, and this is why I don't really understand. I guess I do have 4 hours right there. 4 hour chart does look really good. You're not lying about that, so I'll give you that. The 4 hour chart, but again, I just look at the daily chart and I can tell it all. I don't really necessarily look at the minutes or hours or any of that. I do if I'm trying to really sell at the top or bottom for that day. And so yeah, that's the only thing I can tell off of them. I can't really. I like to look at 6 months, and I can kind of tell you exactly what it's going to do. As you can tell, we're pretty accurate. So DDD, that 3D Systems Corp we were looking at last night, that is curling up a little bit. Not looking bad. Hit its resistance today at that 350. And let's see, DDD. 3Ds doesn't look bad though. It just has to get through that 350 tomorrow, and it'll be perfectly fine. It's at what 3:35 in the after hours, so see if that can get through there. I don't even know who posted that in there. I just saw it. RD did. So yeah, there you go, RD. Like I said, it just has to get right through that area, and it can continue to run up there. Let me see, which was the ticker that you loaded up on both accounts. Oh, that was Google right there. On Friday, I did on options, and I actually posted the one. That's my E-Trade account, and I have another account that I trade. And again, I'm gonna set up a Robinhood one and start trading that one. I was even thinking about maybe even doing like a little small account thing where obviously I just set up a Robinhood account. I'll put some money into it, not that much. I'll put whatever, and then I'll just go through some trades and make it easier so we can just go through some together. So I was thinking about that, and so that's why I was saying earlier. I was already thinking about it before. I'd set up a Webbull and a Robinhood account before, never used them, never put anything into them, and yeah, I opened them up again last night, logged in, and I was like, you know what? I should just go through these and use them, and then just go through the options chains. And then I was trying to get to it and figure it out. I couldn't even figure it out. It was getting late, so I was like, I'll have to do that. And I was messing with it today, and that's what I was saying in the beginning. But yeah, I think I might do that with the Robinhood account, one of them, and we'll show some trades too. What the hell? And so yeah, so I loaded up on the Google options, and I have a few of the Tesla ones. They're pretty wild too. That thing just keeps moving like crazy. So yeah, it's definitely been crazy. I'm not gonna lie. My accounts have been moving, and and again, I'm just kind of testing. I was experimenting for a good 2 months, just figuring it out on my own. And I'll tell you what, just experimenting my accounts did well, but the last, I would say, 3 or 4 weeks have done really well, and it's only going to get much better because now I'm starting to really get it. Like I said, you have to really understand where the expiration's the best spot at, and And really, I think that's one of the most important things. Just don't go crazy with the strike price. Leave it low and keep your expiration where you know you can get the timing down right. And you don't want to be too close to it. And that's what I never understood before. I was always under the impression that if, say, for example, what's today? Today's the 11th. Your expiration's Friday. Usually they expire on Fridays. Your expiration would be on the 13th. I was always under the impression that you wanted to try to get it as close to that 13th that you could. So say just for example, I mean, we'll just use basic numbers and just say it's Apple and it was $100 and your strike price is at 105. So you bought it at 100 and you think it's going over 105 and you did it on last Monday, so this December 2nd, and you picked this Friday as your expiration date for the 13th, and it's like right there at 105, like it's just about there. You kind of want it to be there a week out, so you'd probably want it to be like the 20th as your expiration, and then as it gets there, kind of sell it like almost with like 4 or 5 days left on it seems to be the best way. Obviously they'll go up a little bit more, but again, you start risking if they dip a little bit, that time decay, they start moving down a lot more on you. So that's what I never understood, and it is the part that isn't is kind of confusing, but it's not really even that confusing once you just kind of look at it and say, all right, I got to get rid of this thing a week before the expiration. That's how I look at it. I just want to get rid of them like a week before. It's perfectly fine with me. And then if they go up higher, I'm not worrying about it because again, the expiration's coming up, and if they do pull back any, again, they'll decay. The time decay makes them go down a lot more. So just getting that figured out was kind of like one of the biggest things, I think. And once I kind of really understood where I needed to be on the expiration, not too far out and definitely not too close. Just give yourself time. And if you want, give yourself an extra week or two, like almost an insurance policy. And because it's not going to hurt you. The worst thing is you're not hitting the higher percentage, like as high as a percentage. That's it. As you could see when I posted the two that have what the December and the January call or whatever the two calls are. I forget what the two dates are that I posted today, and the one's way up. I think there might be three calls on that, but still, it is a little bit of a difference. You can see the percentage is like 300 or 400. It's like a little bit of a difference in the percentages, and that's why the expiration's a week out further, and that's how I started to pinpoint exactly how I got to be like right into the best area for the highest profitable you know the most amount of profits towards that strike or towards that expiration price or date, and making sure you were in the strike price. So I just did some playing around, and again, that's all I did was experiment with this and that. So I was just buying them at different times, different expirations, seeing what worked, what didn't, and it took me about 2 months, maybe three, and I think I figured it out pretty well. I'm not going to say I'm an expert by no means because I'm definitely not. I just know how to look at charts, and but yeah, it's something that I'll continue to learn, I'm sure, but I'll show you what I'm talking about in a video, and I kind of just explained it right there as well. But like I said, I want to put it out on a video for you guys, and I'll use one of my accounts that literally I'd never used before, and I'll just show you exactly what I do. I'll just go on an options chain and show you exactly. I figured that would be the easiest way to do it, so you guys can see exactly that. So that's what my idea is. So as soon as I figure that out, and as soon as I figure that out, I'll put money in my account and start trading with it too. So I have to look tonight and see if I did not. I thought I applied for the options and was approved, but I could be wrong. So maybe that's why it's not pulling up or I don't see it. I'll figure it out in the next day or so and get that all finished because I did all my notes and I can easily shoot the video now in like 10 minutes, not even like 5 minutes. So, I just want that, and it would be nice and easy, and you guys can see what I'm up to. So there you go with that, and that was DDD and a little backstory. How about Pepe? I'll look at that on my scanner or on my charts, PEP USD, and it is on Coinbase now. And it is looking pretty good, honestly. It just came on Coinbase. I might look at, let me see if it's on my it might give me a better look on my Let me see. I think it's on here. Yeah, it's on here on my app because I like again, I like to look at 6 months and it just kind of just got onto Coinbase. But yeah, it's not looking bad. I mean, the thing had run up a long time ago. I can't even tell on there either. It's like the worst chart ever for any of them. So let me look on here. Pepe. I mean, it does look good. You know, it's going to continue up. It's kind of like one of them Trump mean things, I think. And yeah, it doesn't look bad. I'm gonna have to pull up a different chart for it and get back to you. I'll post up a different chart tonight and or tomorrow and tell you about Pepe because honestly, even my app isn't the chart doesn't look perfect for me. It's just too flat for me. And even on my charts, I know, oh, you know what? Let me see. Pepe, if I go into a different exchange. Pepe USD, it's been on Kraken for a while, right? Yeah, here we go. All right, that's all I had to do was go into it. I didn't even think about that. Like I said, it's brand new on Coinbase, so it only showed me like a couple weeks or a month or two, whatever it had. But here we go. I just went on Kraken, which it's been on there for a long time, and it has been running up. I think it's going to roll off that MACD and get moving again. It looks like it made that base, and it does look like Pepe is pretty good down here to get cruising again. So I would say it looks good. I didn't even think about that, so glad I just did. And yeah, so yeah, I can always just do that. Look on a different exchange there because it does pull them all up on there. And how about LEV? Let's look at LEV, Lion Electric. And let's see, this one looks like it was just getting a base made down here again. I remember it ran up. Somebody had us looking at it. Maybe it was you, little Iron Man. And it ran up the other day on December 5th and 6th. I do remember. And now it's just kind of making that base. And it does look like it's going to try to curl up. The 20 does look like it's going to try to curl it back up and run, but it is making that base. So I would just wait and see when it wants to really get moving there. So we can keep an eye on that if you want. And that's LEV. And there you go with that one. No problem there. And boom, Jennifer Lee has a couple good ones here. Penn, that's always a nice one. PENN. And we talked about that, Penn Entertainment. And that one dipped down really, really nice, super bullish. And this one's actually going to be a great one. That's a good eye on that one, Jennifer Lee, because that one's about to bounce back up. Keep your eye on PENN. PENN, yeah, Penn, that one looks really good. SLB. Let's see that. SLB Schlumberger. I think that's what it's called. Maybe I pronounced it wrong. I don't even know. But that one bottomed out yesterday at that 40.47. It's at 41.56 SLB. And yeah, this one's going to get curling back up. That's a good one, too. HAL. Let's look at HAL Hall. Hal, actually, Halliburton. I was gonna say, wait, isn't that Hal? Yeah, Halliburton. Some crazy looks right there, and Halliburton looks like it wants to get moving again. This one used to be way higher. It's at $29. What was this used to be? I mean, I remember it was like always in the 40s. Yeah, that thing was like always in the 40s, and it's at $29 right now. So Halliburton could be a really good discount right here. And it has that crazy look. Something's going on with Halliburton. I'm not exactly sure what's happening with them, but something is happening. It says Halliburton ascends but remains behind market. I don't know what it's talking about today, but yeah, that's what it says. But yeah, it does look like it's trying to set up to do something. HAL. We'll keep an eye on that. And CZR. Caesars Entertainment. Let's look at them. Um, that one looks like it's definitely rolling up. That bottom was yesterday for sure, 35.96. And let's look at Caesar CZR. And we are at 37.25. Yeah, that bottom was definitely there. 35.96 is what it said. No, I'm lying. Yeah, 35. I keep moving. Oh, Jesus Christmas. I keep moving to the wrong day. All right. 35.96. Yeah, that's the low. And that was yesterday. And it does look like it wants to roll off and get moving. We'll look at that tomorrow, but I think that is definitely setting up to be bullish. Caesar, CZR, that one's a good one right there. Jennifer Lee. So they're good ones right there. And let's see, what's 10 to 1 split? MSTU. Oh yeah, Luis Rodriguez did say MSTU is a 10 to 1 split on Friday. So be careful. That's that T long, the T Rex 2 time long MSTR Dowie Target ETF. So apparently that one is gonna be splitting, or yeah, what is it? A 10 to 1 split. So just beware of that bad boy, and then it's definitely setting up again. So these ETFs do split. I don't know what the hell for, to be honest with you. I'm not even sure why they split, but they do. And so yeah, just keep an eye on that, because I know he was saying that. And that's the only thing with the ETFs that you really have to look for and worry about. I don't like to be in them when they split, obviously. So but yeah, MSTU definitely hit that bottom right there. It's trying to curl up. Just let it split and then you get back in it, I would say. So that would probably be the best way. And there you go. Um, we did not discuss SMCIK, so you're just on time because we're about to do that. And do I expect RGTI to go up from here? Actually, I'm not so. It probably will over time, but these guys are pulling back. That's way in the top. I wouldn't be chasing RGTI at this moment. We were looking at it a few days ago when it was in the threes, and but it will pull back and then they will set up again. So you definitely have to keep an eye on that. And like I said, we'll know when they pull back. We went through all them quantum ones and the computer chip hardware guys, and they're all kind of pulling back. They had run up so much, they're going to pull back to set back up there. And then MSTU, that's the other. Oh yeah, that's the one we went through, and that one is the one splitting there. Let's see. Boom, boom. Let me see. I think I got everything there. Yep, I think I got everything there. And let's see what else is going on here. Yep, no problem, everybody. And all right, let's keep rocking and rolling, go through our big caps, our SPY and them guys, and see what they're doing here. So here we go with the SPY. It was up 466. I didn't think it wanted to cross down yet today. I was saying that it hit the line and it's still curling up. I mean, yesterday it kind of bottomed out. So it could be cruising tomorrow as well. It just has that crazy look. It actually like kind of blended in with the MACD, but the thing is just so strong and I don't think it can really dip that hard. I guess it could if something crazy happened, but it doesn't look like anything crazy is going down at the moment. So Apple was up today. It did run around what'd it go, like 247 up to 250. It's at 246 right now. So Apple did pull back a hair at the end of the day there, and that could have been its top right there. And again, that was a massive run up, and we saw that down in the 220s. And I ran that guy all the way up. So that was Apple right there. AAPL, that was a beauty. Amazon, AMZN, this was up another $5 today, rolling up and wants to go up higher. So keep an eye on Amazon tomorrow because it still looks good. And we knew that was going up. And like we were saying, way down here in the 210 area and even lower as it was approaching the holidays. I told you that thing was just going to get cruising. Google, there's nothing more that you need to say about that going up $10 today and should continue its way up tomorrow. It's up another 78 cents in the after hours to 197. It should be blasting through 200 tomorrow, and that one option could possibly hit a 10K option tomorrow, to be honest with you, with the increase in the percentage. And if it jumps up a good amount like it did the last 2 days, you could definitely see that happen. And now I know, like I said, exactly what we're looking for. And how about not hitting 10? How about we start hitting 10K hits on the daily? They're usually fun. I told you guys last time Trump was in office and COVID happened, we were just smashing them. We had crazy, crazy days on penny stocks. It was wild. So I'm all prepared and used to it and love it. So I'm ready to get back right into it. And these options are so much easier. I mean, this is a piece of cake. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, let Google keep running up because I love it. It's a beauty. And like I said, we just keep picking the best opportunity and just run it. You don't got to trade 10 of them. You only got to trade five of them. I mean, yeah, Google and Tesla right now, and you don't even need to do anything else probably for the next month. I can tell you that right now. If you've seen what was going on, it's insane. So, yeah, that's between them two alone. It's been crazy. Um, and they're just two of them. It's just yeah, it's just wild. I'll show you guys what's going on. Meta's another one we knew was flying. I've been telling you, Zuck's up to something, and it went up over $13. It wants to get up into the top. So these things are just running, guys. And then once they top out and want to pull back a little bit, and honestly, they're just staying bullish. They want to keep going. So that's what I'm saying. They're gonna run for like another month, 2, 3 months, and then yeah, we're gonna see some pullback, and that's gonna be fine too. Because when they want to pull back, it's easy to take them down. So and ride the elevator down and make just as much, if not more. So it'll be a great run any which way it wants to go, and they're constantly moving. These big caps are moving, and they're very easy to see. So it's worth it. Definitely worth paying attention to it for sure. Microsoft MSFT, that was up another $5, and that one I'm actually surprised. I thought it was going to be pulling back, so that one kind of reversed on me, and it does want to get into the top. So Microsoft just went nutty, and it ran up faster than I thought, but whatever. You can't catch every single one of them. And how about Nvidia? I told you this one was going to get moving again. It was up another $4, and again, this one's going to be riding up pretty soon. So keep your eye on that. Yesterday was probably its bottom, and it's going to get cruising some more, I believe. Nvidia, and of course Tesla went nuts, up another $23, and I'm telling you, them options are wild too. So that thing just could continue to just keep running up there. So we knew it was getting over that four, and I even said it. I said that 420 because it was hitting that resistance right around there, and it went right through it. So that's your Tesla and AMC. What's that doing? That's just dipping down. Um, yeah, it's dipping down. AMC is not. I thought AMC was going to look much better than that, and it definitely isn't. So that's pulling back there. We'll have to keep an eye on AMC. Still wants to be bullish, but it's got to turn back around and do something there. So let's look at GameStop, GME. This one does look like it wants to get crawling back up and looks better now. So GameStop does look good. Chewy, let's look at that one. CHWI. That one also is looking pretty decent to try to crawl back up. So I think GameStop looks the best out of all of them. AMC did, and it did run up. I mean, I thought it was going to run up way more. It didn't, and now GameStop probably looks the best out of all them. And let's roll through the rest of our big cappers and see what they're up to. And then we'll run through the scanners real quick. So here we go and see what these big caps are doing. We have Netflix, NFLX, and this thing just keeps going up in the top. It's an expensive one, though, but it does run up there and it keeps running up. And that is Netflix. AVGO is moving up $11 today, and this thing wants to try to get cruising up a little bit more. AVGO, that Broadcom, I mean, and again, these semiconductors, like we were saying, we're going to start looking good again, and they are. So MU, this was up $3, and I'm telling you, this one looks great, guys. MU, so keep your eye on that. 102. Oh yeah, that thing's gonna get cruising. I might have to take. I'll be looking at MU. It does have earnings coming up. I don't like that. December 18th. That's next Wednesday. I think we're probably all right with that. Maybe I'll look at it tomorrow. It is setting up really good though. MU. So Micron Technology is looking great right there. I'll definitely look at it. TSM was up a little bit, and it's trying to get curling back up. I would say it's going to get bullish. So I think that one's going to be moving back up. And here you go with your SMCI. It was down, but I'll tell you what, I was just waiting for it to come down. Maybe it comes down into the 35, 33 area, and then it gets set back up, and I'll run that one back up again, SMCI. So I'll keep an eye on that and let you guys know when that wants to run. It will get set up and ready. It's just about there. I think that 20 and 50 want to meet up, and I think it'll bounce it right up there. So we'll keep an eye on that. And how about AMD? That one was up $2, and I think this is another one to keep an eye on because that one's probably bottomed out there. AMD, so keep an eye on that one. That's at 130, down a little bit in the after hours. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's making that base and it's going to start curling up. I'm going to take a look at AMD tomorrow. PayPal, and I'll let you guys know. PayPal, like I said, this guy's going to be bullish. It was just kind of pulling back, but this thing's super bullish there. PayPal just wants to keep running up. Snow is making a base and might want to try to roll back up here at that 171. So we had gotten this at that 113 and ran this up, so that was crazy too. And I'm telling you, they all, I mean, every single one we played was basically the one you wanted to play that was popping up the biggest. And Tesla's just been doing it nonstop. So you can just play it here all the time. And MicroStrategy is an expensive one, but that does the same thing and runs around. So, yeah, you can check them out. And here we go. We'll keep on rolling. But yeah, Snow, that one's trying to build a base. So we'll keep an eye on it. QCOM Qualcomm. This one's setting up too. This one's going to be a great one as well. So keep an eye on that one. QCOM, I think, is going to be really good. How about Intel, INTC? This one is going to be trying to bounce up. I think it's going to hit that bottom. Today could be its bottom. But honestly, I'm going to play the bigger ones, to be completely honest. They seem to be much easier. Even this Intel at $20 and like the AMCs and stuff. I'm just not even going to waste my time with them bad boys. When you want to start and learn, they're the ones you want to learn on, these cheaper ones for sure. You don't want to be doing the Mag 7s all right off the bat unless you like totally know because they are a couple $100. You can get these smaller ones really cheap and really get the feel of it and know what you're doing. And then that's when you get confident with it and you're comfortable and you know it and you understand it. That's when you switch it over. It's exactly what I did. I was telling you is what I was doing the entire time. And and then yeah, and then once you get really confident and comfortable and you know that the chart looks like it does, then you start loading up. And I'd even load up heavy on Google. I just kind of like started to put some onto it. So now I know exactly where I want to be. And like I said, we can be smashing huge hits. I mean, just massive hits, nonstop around the clock. So. That's INTC though, Intel, and again, I don't know if I'll be playing them smaller ones, but we'll look at them. Disney's pulled back a little bit to 114, but not looking bad. It looks like it might try to crawl back up, but wouldn't go after it just at the moment. I'd make sure I know what it was exactly going to do, and that Oxy's going to look really good. That's another one to keep an eye on for your options there. And ExxonMobil, I'm sure, is looking pretty decent. Yeah, I think that's its bottom. Maybe it goes down a little bit more to that 110, but ExxonMobil is going to be setting up. Mara is going to be setting back up, I believe. It's going to be trying to base out here. Riot was looking good. It was back up today, and I'm telling you, Riot looks really good. Looks better than Mara at the moment. MSTR, that MicroStrategy. That's up $34 and you're about to see it continue to roll up. So obviously you want to look at that one. They're expensive, but that one moves quite a bit. Obviously, and that's MicroStrategy CLSK. That's at Clean Spark, and that's just pulled back a little bit, but I think that could be trying to bounce back up very soon, CLSK. So we'll keep an eye. Let me see what it did in the after hours. Um, yeah, hit that 50 right there. So watch for this one to try to bounce. I meant to look at it because I thought it was going to get right there. Coinbase is trying to bounce back up a little bit, so we'll keep an eye on that if it can really get moving. DJT, the Trump media, I'm telling you guys, this one's going to get cruising, guys. I was just telling you, it's going to get back over that 50 with no problem, I think. So keep your eye on DJT, the Trump media. Looks really good. And I'm telling you, fun's about to get fun as well. It's just crossed over, and it's just waiting for a little bit. But that's getting really good. But DJT looks great. MTN, that mountain was down a little bit, and I think it's just pulling back to set up to go up some more. So that's at Val Resorts. And let's look at McDonald's MCD. That's down $4. I probably wouldn't even play McDonald's. Maybe if it comes back down to this 290, it's a 296. It might be a nice little bounce, but not really worrying about McDonald's. Boeing, this thing just keeps going up, guys. So it's not super bullish, but they're not letting this thing go down. That's for sure. It's way too important of a company to America with aerospace and defense and everything it does. So they'll keep this thing afloat and keep it going forever. Space SPCE. Let's see what space is doing. It was pulling back and definitely not looking like I thought it was going to. Maybe it's bottoming out right here and trying to curl, but definitely didn't cruise like I thought it would. That NAMC I thought would go up a little higher. And again, this one's a smaller one. I'm just going to do the bigger ones. They're so much easier to see, and they just move exactly when you want them, when you know they're going to. I mean, it's like a piece of cake. I have no problem buying bigger options. I mean, obviously they're not for everybody, but even so, I'm telling you, they're not that much like even like the Google or Apple ones. They're not that much, $200-300 a piece. You're getting 100 shares on leverage, and you're making way more than you will penny stocks, and you're definitely putting $200-300 in the penny stocks to even make some kind of profit. So, I mean, like I said, I've put in thousands into them to make some nice profit. So I know you got to dump a lot of money. If you put like 2 grand of options into Google, holy shit, it would have been of like a 40-50 thousand dollar hit. I'm not even kidding. Let me think. Yeah, it would probably be 25 right now, close to it. Yeah, you're not talking that much money, so you're talking huge profits too. And so yeah, there you go, and that's why I decided I'll just be playing them. Rivian could have topped out, been pulling back right now to set back up. That's what it looks like at the moment. And PLTR, I mean, these things are just animals. Just you just got to be careful. It does look like it topped out the other day. Don't get me wrong on the ninth, but it does look like it has that crazy look, and it wants to curl back up. And like I said, just beware and be careful if you're trying to short it or do anything crazy with PLTR or Sophie, because they can easily bounce back up like Sophie was off that 20 and get cruising again. So just beware of them too. And Dell was pulling back yesterday, and I think today might be its bottom. It did get down to that 115. It's at 118 right now, and it could be its bottom right there. So Dell, I think, is going to be another great one to keep an eye on as well. And let's look at Nike real quick and see what Nike's doing here. That's up to 11. I told you this one's going to get cruising back up to that 84, $85 and get bumping again. They have earnings coming up on the 19th, so they're coming up next Thursday. And yeah, Nike looks like it wants to get cruising again, guys. So that's NKE. And DXYZ, this thing's just a monster too, and just keeps running up higher and staying in the top. And let me just look at a couple of the yin and the yang. We don't have to go through all of these, but the yin was down $1 or 2 and at 30.36. And look, I mean, it looks super bullish. Let me look at this yang. And this yang looks like it wants to kind of dip down, but that bottom was down there. I mean, they're kind of a hard look. They almost both look a little flattish. So, not sure what the yin and the yang are up to. We did boil and cold. Let's look at Nug real quick. That's up, and like we said, that gold miners, they're looking good. That NUGT and that DUST is going down. So NUGT looking great right there. And yeah, that's pretty good. ERX, which I don't even remember what that one is. That's the energy bull one. We'll look at that one later. The rest of them we don't really aren't that crazy right now. And Defend, that one is still down and just down there, so not doing anything crazy. Let me go through the scanner real quick, the charts, see what they're up to. That MSTZ pulling back, RGTI way up there. That LAES, we looked at that one, the semiconductor one, that was running up. Lucid, that one's trying to set back up. Nvidia's trying to go back up. XTIA, I'm telling you, that thing looks good. And QBTS, we went through all them guys. SMSCI, NVI, NIVF, and how about that Soundhound? I think that's going to be pulling back on you. Uber, this one's way down there too. Remember, we're watching Uber. Let that one pull back and just keep going down. We'll catch that one. Ford's been pulling back. We'll catch that. This one looks pretty decent. RZLV, I talked about this one this morning. and it does look like it's trying to set up. Keep an eye on that. It's called Resolve or something. RZLV. That one's trying to set up right there. And what else is happening here? I don't think anything else. Neo is pulling back a little bit. Let me see what's going on the other side here. Let's see if there's anything crazy with volume. Let me look. AMPG, that thing just ran. YG, what's that? That's a China company. That CADL's on there. OPTX, we looked at that. It's looking pretty good right there. Um, SHLT ran up a little bit, and CTHR, that's that Charles and Calvert. And we were looking at that. I told you that was going to be running. That ran up. Let's see. Mind. Remember, we were just looking at that. I told you it was going to go out of its mind. That one just ran up over 42%. So yeah, we see every one of them that runs. You just can't trade them all. Like I said, it's impossible. So VRAR. Yeah, we just see them all. It's not a big deal. I don't see anything else that crazy, so we'll definitely catch everything else in the morning. But there you go. We got crypto, big caps, all that. Let me make sure I didn't miss any messages here. See if we got everything going on here. And let me see real quick. Bruce, I had a couple questions with options to make sure you didn't make any mistakes. Yeah, just shoot me any questions you want, Bruce. I'll try to answer the best I can. Like I said, I'm definitely no expert. I promise you that. Just taught myself how to do it with a brain injury. So I promise you guys can all do it as well. So, and like I said, I'll show you what I'm looking at, what I do, and like I think what's pretty safe. It just made the most sense to me, to be honest. I kept it as simple as possible. I told you, and I looked at it, tried to make it as simple as possible and the easiest I thought, and it just so happened that I'm hitting locking in giant profit percentages and doing it fast. So I think a lot of it has to do with the way we can look at the charts so well, but that we'll take that to our advantage and work the options to our advantage as well. BlackBerry BB looks like it's just pulling back a little bit there. Let me see what it did in the after hours. It does look like it's going to pull back some, so maybe when it gets back to 267, it tries to curl back around. But I'll take a look at that for you in the morning. And there you go. ETHU, isn't that Ethereum one? Yeah, that's at two times Ether ETS. See, I know these ones, some other ones we were looking at earlier, I wasn't familiar with. That one bottomed out yesterday and looks like it's really good right there. Luis Rodriguez, ETHU. I would say that's about to roll back up there. That's looking good. And we just did SMCI, so I know I did that one. And I'll check that out, Bruce, and see what you're up to right there. And I don't want to hit my ring. Back to here. Here we go. And let me see. Let me get everything. I just screwed it. I just hit my ring. Keeps popping up because it's raining. Anyway, there we go. I think that's everything right there. I'll look at the stock twits and see what's going on over here real fast. If we missed anything or what's trending, let me look real quick. We have Tesla, Link, we went through SUI, that one's blown up too. That's a good crypto one. That one's way up today. We have that guy as well. Me and my buddy CADL and Hut we went through. Adobe, this thing's been going down. Let's look at ADBE because this one's a good option play. And I thought it was dipping down. It's making a base up here. It was trying to get into the top. I remember we looked at it and it looked decent. It's just making that base up there. I'll have to look at it tomorrow and see exactly what it wants to do there. Adobe and then AVGO and the yin is up a little bit. So there you go with that. And let's see. Let me see what else. I know Laptop Travel just answered Bruce. Yeah, the markets. Yeah, you can't really do much. Anything with options, they're not trading in pre-market. I don't think Webull or anybody else is either. They just trade literally 9:30 to 4, and that's all you're doing your options for. So that's just your regular market times. And I get it why these hedge funds, they're not getting up at 4 a.m. to trade penny stocks, and they're not staying until 8 p.m. to trade them in the after hours. They trade these big ones during the daytime, 9:30 40 to 4, and they make a fortune off of these options. And I completely get it 100%. And and a lot of the market's made a lot more sense to me, I would say, in the last like 2 months since I really started looking at these options, why these ETFs exist and certain other things. And I'm like, wow, this really makes sense now. So again, I'm just self-taught. I just learned, it was a hobby of mine for over 20 years, looking at stock charts and trading penny stocks. And like I say, I guess I probably got more lucky than anything that I could read the charts well enough. And I happen to do really well with penny stocks because they're not easy to trade, and they used to be a lot different a couple years back, and they just moved like crazy. You didn't have to do them at 4 a.m. at 9:30. In the pre-market at 7 a.m. they'd get running, and at 9:30 they'd get popping. So it was a completely different market, and then by 10:15 you were locking in huge profits by that point. So it was totally different than 4 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. And then so it's just the market's changed and you have to pivot it, just like every business and everything in life. If you want to stay ahead of the game and if you want to stay successful, you pivot and stay like I said, you stay ahead of the trends. And so yeah, I knew I had to pivot if I wanted to stay in it, and the options just seemed like the right thing. As everybody was telling me, I knew I just had to figure it out and just literally just do it. I mean, the only thing holding me back was me, I would say. So I just said, you know what, let's just do this, and I'm glad I did it. And I will show you guys what I've been doing. And like I said, I posted a couple of the profits, not even much of them, and yeah, you can just see how crazy it is. So there you go with that. And let's look at Lunar and Roblox, or what is that? RBLK. Is that Rob RBLK? What? Hold on. RBLK. Is that right? RBLK? No, it's RB. What is that? KL? No. What is it supposed to be Roadblock or Rocket Lab? It's not Rocket Lab, is it? Rocket Lab. Which one was that? Hold on. Now I gotta look. RKLB, RKLB. That's it. Rocket Lab. That's probably what it is. RKLB is Rocket Lab. That one's building a nice base. I think you're gonna see this one start to curl back up here. RKLB. RKLB. There you go. Yup, RK. Thank you, Jennifer Lee. RKLB. Yeah, Rocket Lab. I think you're going to see that start to curl back up. And Lunar, that's another aerospace and defense. That one's just pulling back a little bit right there still. Maybe today was its bottom. Could be bottoming out today. We'll look at it tomorrow and see if today was its bottom right there. So there you go. Adobe did pulled back 9% at earnings. Oh, they had earnings tonight, huh? I'm telling you, I hate the earnings. Oh yeah, I didn't even look down there, did I? December 11th, there you go. So yeah, Adobe did pull. Oh shit, it did pull. I wasn't even looking at that, to be honest with you. Wow. It did. It went down 47.9. Oh, that's going to be a beauty now. So there we go. Adobe. Again, another reason why I hate earnings. I'm not messing with earnings. I'll run them up to like day or two before, and then I'm out. I can't tell what the heck they're doing. I mean, that shit looked good. Adobe looked great. It looked like it was curling up, trying to get up to the top, and next thing you know, it's down almost $50. So that's so crazy. I just don't get it. I don't even know how people play the earnings. As well, I mean, you guys know we look at these charts pretty damn well, and I have no idea what's going to happen during earnings. It's like I'd be better off just flipping a coin and just saying like, here, this one's going to be heads. This is up is heads, down is tails. Let's just flip the coin and see what it does. Because I just can't tell. I mean, it's almost the opposite every time. So anyway, we aren't playing earnings. I already learned that real quick too. That was a little experiment right there, and we knew that. So there you go. And boom. And I will just So Laptop Travel's helping Bruce out, and we'll help everybody with the options, like I said. And no doubt RGTI is riding the cocktails of Google or the coattails of Google, similar to SOUN, and Serve and others did with NVIDIA. So yeah, I agree 100% with that. I mean, they're just all flying up right now. So you just want to get in them at the right time and run them up because it is a beauty when you do it. I'm telling you, these options are crazy. They're definitely not like stocks. I didn't understand it before, but I definitely am understanding it now. And I get what these guys were telling me before. So that's why I've been telling you guys the same thing. So there you go. We did our crypto, our big caps. We knocked through all our messages, did everything right there. And I would say that's a pretty good market review. We'll be back at 7 a.m. for pre-market. We'll do our Jolie's jumpers and our laptop lowdowns and look at crypto again and see that it's still going up. I think it will be. And like I said, that Bitcoin was getting squeezed between that 10 and 30. You knew it was going up, and it sure did. And then we'll look and see what the scanner says and what's going to be popping tomorrow and what looks best. And again, I already can tell you right now, there's some good option plays right here. You got MU, AMD, Qualcomm, QCOM. Oxy's looking great. MSTR, it's an expensive one, but you know it's going up. DJT, I've been telling you guys for a little while. And that JTAI looks like it wants to continue up. Check out JAGX. It looks like it could keep that momentum going. And that PERI, I'm telling you guys, that thing looks pretty wild right there. And that MPWR, we're going to have to check that one out as well. And Sensi, that one's looking good too in the right spot. SNSE and a couple other ones. So I'll post out the list real quick. ASRT, Mogu, and WISA. They look like they're still setting up to get moving in VMAR. So there's a few ones. And SIDU is looking real good in PALT. So yeah, a bunch of them setting up. And again, we'll just keep tackling the big caps, the best opportunities right there. I'm telling you, you're going to have your biggest percentages for profit. I experimented with the smaller ones, but you have to learn with the smaller options for sure. And then you definitely will you kind of move over into the bigger ones because they do pay out way better. And like I said, if you know exactly which ones are going to be popping, which we obviously always do, you can do really, really well. And it's simple. You're not even worrying about them going down. I mean, like penny stocks, they ran up and 15 minutes later, they're coming down lower than the price you bought it at. Google, I bought it Friday and it just keeps going up, and then tomorrow it's going to go up more, I would have to assume. But even if it does, it's not dipping down hard. I mean, it's Google and they just had crazy, crazy news. So these things stay pretty steady, and you can kind of see, when you're up there. And again, I still have a week or two on an expiration. So yeah, you start figuring out how to play them right. And that's like I said, I'm still kind of experimenting, but I think I'm zeroing in on where I want to be from selling the expiration and locking in that strike price and everything. So I'll show you what I'm up to and what I've learned. So there you go, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, and greatly appreciate it. Laptop Travel, always for everything, and Luis Rodriguez, and O'Hare's Bastard Child, RD, Jennifer Lee, Zhang 90, it looks like, and Value Trader, Winter Mute, Bong Pre-Chan, Doge Mama 9 is on here, Sherry and K, and let me see, that's Loa 2015. Deepak, Jay Kratz, Rebecca, Christian, Bruce Love, and then another Bruce is on there, and G Beachski's on here. I like that name. Tony 90 and Patrick. How are you guys? I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I greatly appreciate you guys hanging out as always. And again, we'll be here for pre-market. Let me know if you just want to look at anything, any questions, just shoot me a message. You know I answer everybody. And there you go. Have a great night, everybody. I'll catch you in the morning. And yeah, that's it. So have a good night, everybody. I'll see you for pre-market at 7 a.m.